Okay, everybody, see if we got some folks on over here. Haven't done a Facebook Live since last Wednesday when we had the storms. Things have been kind of calm, so we like calm weather. So we've got, a lot of talk about what's coming up on Sunday, and that's going to be my primary focus. I am going to talk briefly about tonight because we have a warm front coming in. And this may set the stage for a little bit of some hail with some of the storms overnight, and then windy and warm tomorrow. But then my primary focus is going to be on Sunday. I will tell you it's a little early to get into great detail. The storm is just now, entering the Pacific Northwest coast. We talk about this when storms are still over the ocean. We don't get quite as much information as when they're over land. We get the upper air soundings from our weather balloons in them twice a day. So our models will hone in a little bit better with time, but I can at least start to give you some general idea. And we'll probably do one of these tomorrow night where I can give you more detailed information. And I can tell you too that I will be here Sunday. So we'll most likely be doing a live Facebook and TV at times. When some storms come through. So Sunday is going to be my main focus that we're looking at. I'm going to show you a couple things while I'm doing this too, because about a week from now, about the middle of next week, there's another pretty impressive system which could bring some more thunderstorms. So, it's that time of the year when things start to get kind of busy. So let me check out over here, make sure we got plenty of folks on. We do. And thank you guys for all the good comments. And again, it's nice to not do these because when I'm not doing these, the weather is calm. But now we've got some things going on. So let's talk about tonight. We have a warm front coming in from the southwest to the northeast. And along that warm front, we're going to develop some thunderstorms. And the air is colder aloft. And we may develop a little bit of some hail with those storms. So I'm just going to kind of put this in motion here. And you can kind of see the front, imagine the front lifting in from the southwest to the northeast and some scattered thunderstorms overnight. It does not look like anything big as far as severe weather, but don't be surprised to have some thunder and lightning overnight, and a little bit of some smaller to medium-sized hail will be possible in some of that. Now here's the good news. By tomorrow mid to late morning, again, imagine the warm front lifting its way to the northeast, and there takes the rain away. So I would say by mid to late morning, we're in good shape. The rain has moved out, the wind will pick up, and we're talking about near record high temperatures tomorrow. Temperatures getting up probably around 80 degrees. So here's the rest of this. Tomorrow will be fine after mid-morning. As we get to Saturday, we start to see some rain chances redeveloping. Now this is not the main system. Now the main system will be on Sunday. But Saturday there will be some showers, as you can see, as early as maybe early morning coming across portions of the area. Saturday doesn't look like a day with any big heavy duty rain, big storms, anything like that. And then this goes through 7 p.m. on Saturday. So a few thunderstorms tonight, maybe a little hail. We're not expecting any major problem with that. And then Saturday, a few scattered showers. But it's the Sunday time period that we're looking at. And anything in that yellow shaded region, there's a good likelihood there's going to be some severe weather. I kind of think our highest probability of maybe more significant severe weather is going to be from southern Indiana down pretty much along the Mississippi River. This includes places like southeastern Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, getting into parts of Mississippi, parts of Arkansas. That area I think will be the highest risk, although we're still at risk here. And again, the storm is just now coming into the Pacific Northwest, so this may change up a little bit. But that's where I think that the highest risk is for Sunday. But we still are at risk here. This could be a fairly broad area of some severe thunderstorms that are in the area. Let's see. Trying to pick up a few people here. Okay, got a lot of folks from a lot of different places around. Yeah, somebody, Amelia says 80 degrees is my kind of weather. Me too. You're going to like tomorrow, that's for sure. So let's take a look at the maps. This is now forecast for, let's see, when is this? I wanted to show you this because this is interesting. This is about 2 a.m. Sunday night into Monday morning. This will tell you how energized the atmosphere is going to be. These are temperatures, and it's maybe a little hard to see, but we're in the 60s. We're in the 60s at 2 o'clock in the morning this Sunday night into Monday morning. So we're going to be primed with a lot of energy in the atmosphere. I've talked about dew points in the past. We've had some severe weather recently with dew points in the mid-50s. When dew points hit 60 or above, you're more likely, if other ingredients are there, to have severe weather. And basically that kind of that bluish shading or gray shading, that would be anything over 60 dew point. So I'll show you a few of these. This is forecast at about 11 a.m. on Sunday. We're already in the low 60s. This is forecast for at about what is that, about 3 p.m. And now we got mid-60 dew points. I mean, we have 60 dew points all the way up into northeastern Indiana. Next up, this would be at about 11 p.m. Again, dew points in the mid-60s. So as you can see, we got the temperatures in the 60s. We got the dew points up there. I mean, we have a lot of saturation in the atmosphere with the moisture. This would now be at about 2 a.m. Remember, I was showing you the map where the temperatures are in the 60s and the dew points are still in the low to mid-60s. So it's going to be very muggy feel to the air on Sunday. This is, and I don't show this a lot, but this is basically the cap on the atmosphere. And when you see the bright colors, then there's a pretty good cap. And basically what a cap is when, if the air particles rise, and as long as the air around those particles is cooler, those particles will continue to rise. If the air rises and then it hits a level where it's warmer aloft, we call that a cap. As it rises, it hits this cap and the air falls back down. It basically inhibits development of thunderstorms. So this is at about 8 in the morning on Sunday, and we're strongly capped off, meaning we should have no issues at all with any big storms or probably even much in the way of rain on Sunday morning. Strong cap over the area. But this is now getting to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Cap is gone. So we've lost the cap. Now, if those air particles start rising, they will continue to rise. If something is forcing them up and we have a cold front approaching, they will continue to rise. So cap is gone by mid to late afternoon. This is now at about 11 p.m., getting a little bit of a cap back in the area, but still not real strong. So we could still see some of that lingering deeper into the night. Next up, I want to show you this one. I've talked about these before. This is what's called CAPE, which is convective available potential energy. It's basically storm energy. The more energy you have, the greater the chances of storms. This is forecast for about 4 p.m. on Sunday. And again, now notice where the highest storm energy is located. It's in that area where I had the highest risk. Southern Illinois and basically bridging down across the Mississippi River. That looks like the highest area then. This is now getting to about 8 p.m. And we've still got some pretty high, I mean, those are high CAPE numbers, believe me. Plenty high enough for big storms, but the numbers are a little bit higher southwest of the area. And now I wanted to take you and show you that this goes all the way down along the Mississippi River into East Texas. So anything that's basically shaded in that area has the potential on Sunday to have some bigger thunderstorms, because this is, again, the storm energy, the fuel, the gasoline, if you will, for thunderstorms. So anything shaded in that area could be looking at some strong to severe thunderstorms, and this is at 8 p.m. on Sunday. I want to bring you back closer to home. I've talked about these in the past. This is called the lifted index, and this is the lower the number, the greater the chance that air will continue to rise. This is forecast for about 2 in the afternoon on Sunday. And we have the lower numbers back in Missouri and Arkansas at that point, although we do have some, lower lifted index numbers here. Now look at this. This is at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Clearly, we have a pretty unstable atmosphere. Most unstable in southern Illinois and basically right down along the Mississippi River. But still, the numbers are still very low in this area. Again, this is around 8 p.m. on Sunday. This is around 11 p.m. Atmosphere is still very unstable at 11 p.m. from this area and all points to the south. And then this is one that I've talked about before. This is called, we call it the significant tornado parameter. Basically, where you have the brighter colors here, you have the greater chance maybe of seeing tornadoes. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be big tornadoes, but the chances are a little bit better. This is at around 4 p.m. on Sunday, and then notice it tends to increase a little bit by about 8 p.m. on Sunday. So you're kind of getting the idea on the timing. We're going to fine-tune this a little bit, but it could be as early as mid-afternoon, probably peaking sometimes around sunset, and then some of these storms could linger a little past that. But right now, it looks like our peak time is probably going to be toward the evening and early darkness hours on Sunday. This is 11 p.m., and we still have the numbers that are elevated in this area at 11 p.m. on Sunday, and we start to drop it off a little bit. Although the numbers are still there, we drop it off a little bit at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So, we got to watch anytime really from mid-afternoon up until maybe midnight, give or take. And again, we're going to fine-tune this as we get a little bit closer. Before I show this one here, let me see if anybody's got any quick questions that they wanted to ask. Let's see. Amelia says, well, we have straight line winds. This setup, and I'm going to show you that here in a second, this setup is more likely for a straight line wind than it is for tornadoes, but we can't rule out some tornadoes. I'm going to talk about that with this next map. But yeah, this is a more likely wind event at this point, more likely type of a wind event. I've had some people ask me too recently, does this compare to the March 14-15 outbreak? Remember, we were streaming on here and on TV until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning that Friday night, Saturday morning. The upper level winds with this, currently at least, do not look as impressive as they did with that system. And if you remember with that system, we didn't have a lot of wind, but we did have 5 confirmed tornadoes in our area, deep into the overnight. So right now, this one, at least with the upper level wind support, does not look as impressive as the one that we had on March 14-15. Let's see. Megan says, I missed the first part of the live. Anything for Saturday night? And, there could be a little rain and some thunderstorms, but no severe weather. We don't expect any severe weather with this system until later in the day Sunday. So Saturday's okay. Let's see. And Britt says, Owen County. It's really too early to pinpoint exactly, but I think everybody in our area is at risk of some stronger storms later in the day on Sunday. Michigan looking okay, asked Sam. It depends. If you get into far southeastern Michigan, there may be a little bit of severe weather up there, but the rest of Michigan pretty good shape. But some of those numbers I was showing where the dew points are in the low 60s up in southeast Michigan. Southeast Michigan may get a few stronger storms, but definitely the better risk of severe weather is south of that area. Let's see. Somebody asked about hail. Yeah, these storms could have hail too. Typically, a lot of our storms that produce bigger hail happen this time of the year. We still have a lot of cold air aloft. We may have some tonight. So yeah, they could also be hail producers. So hail is a risk. Hail and wind. Tornadoes can't be ruled out, but right now the tornado threat looks a little bit lower in this one. Okay, I want to show you this. What you're looking at here is the forecast for Sunday evening, and these are forecast winds at about we call it 500 millibars. It's 18,000 feet up. And what I want to do is I want to show you the difference. This one here is near the surface, and then we're going to compare it to 18,000 feet up. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you have wind blowing at a different direction aloft, storms can rotate, and that's what we call wind shear. And that can create, number one, bigger storms with wind and hail, but potentially tornadoes. So this is the wind forecast near the surface. And basically the wind is blowing from where those little barbs are going across this way. This means we're having kind of a south to southwest wind, okay? Now keep an eye on that. This is at the surface. Now I'm going to show you what it's going to be like at about 18,000 feet. Get ready. That's the surface, and that's 18,000 feet. So we go from south-southwest to more of a southwest. So there is some wind shear in the atmosphere on Sunday, which could cause some of these storms to rotate. Matter of fact, there's a fair amount of wind shear. So that's a concern that we've got as well. Okay, want to show you, somebody asked about the straight line wind. Devin says, could things change for the better? They sure could, Devin. Here's the thing, the storm is not on land yet. By tomorrow we'll be able to fine tune it a little bit. Yes, things could be, the timing on this changes. As you know, most of our greater severe storms happen when you have peak heating. So you're more likely to have bigger storms, say at 6p, than you would have 4 or 5 in the morning. So lots of things can change. But this is giving you a general idea of what we're looking at. Let's see here. Okay, so I wanted to show you this. This is the European model, and this is forecast where we think there will be lightning. And I kind of think the timing is a little bit fast on this, but it gives you a general idea. This is forecast for about 4 p.m. In central Illinois. This would be at about 6 p.m. Now it's entering our western counties. This is at about, 7 p.m.? Now it's right on the state line. When you see the bright white, that's a lot of intense lightning. And sometimes what causes lightning, updrafts, downdrafts, and sometimes when you see that bright white, that also could indicate some large hail cores in the storms. So this would be, getting into the evening hours around, 7 o'clock on Sunday. This would now be at about 8 o'clock on Sunday. And so this is very typical of what we would call a squall line. A line which would produce strong straight line wind, we can't rule out as some embedded tornadoes inside that, but we don't see the individual cells. This is more of a line, more of a thunderstorm line with wind. Again, that's at about 8 p.m. Sunday. This would be now at about 9 p.m. Sunday, and you can even see a little bit of a curvature, which is what we call a bow echo. So this is very good indication probably of wind, mostly wind. This would now be at about 10 p.m. on Sunday, and the main line moves on. Now we may see a little redevelopment behind it. I wanted to show you this going all the way out now to about 1 a.m. So we may see initial line come through, and then we may see a little bit of redevelopment of some thunderstorms behind it. Maybe a little less lightning, but still some thunderstorms that could carry us past midnight on Sunday night. Okay, before I show you the outlook maps real quick, I'll see if anybody's got a quick question. Francis says, hopefully it will not be bad. Let's hope it's just some, good old springtime thunderstorms. But, I want everybody to be aware, and that's kind of why we're doing one tonight. And I'm going to do another one tomorrow night because we'll be able to hone in on this a little bit better. Our models will have a little better handle on it, so I'll do another Facebook Live at some point tomorrow night. How are we doing on a drought, says Bob? Basically, most of the northern 2/3 of the area are in a moderate drought, and a lot of Edgar County around Paris and Christmas in a severe drought. So we need rain. I mean, it's been dry. So yeah, we definitely need some rain, Bob. Let's see. So a squall line is better. So a squall line would be less likely to produce more numerous or larger tornadoes. Squall lines typically would be more likely to produce wind, straight line wind. And that could still be strong, but not as strong as the bigger tornadoes. So I guess if you had to pick between a squall line and an individual, what we call supercells, squall line would be better because the individual supercells, those sometimes can produce sometimes some larger tornadoes. Let's see. How bad do you think Sullivan County will get? Here's the other thing too, and you mentioned Sullivan County. A lot of folks are probably on edge because we're nearing the 2-year anniversary of the tornado. They hit Crawford County, Sullivan County, Owen County. The 31st, Monday, is the 2-year anniversary. These storms, if they extend past midnight Sunday night, and they probably will a little bit, that will actually be on the 2-year anniversary. So I know some folks are on edge over that too. It's almost exactly 2 years to the day. And we're going to get some more thunderstorms. So, we want to keep people informed and keep them aware. No need to, sound the alarm at this point. I just want you to be aware, and we're going to fine tune this, and we're going to be able to get into more detail again tomorrow. We'll do another one of these. Kathy says, thank you for informing us. Watching from Vincennes, you are very welcome. Somebody from Washington, Sheila, Palestine, Illinois, and Crawford County. How you guys got hit by the tornado 2 years ago. Rosemary says, thank you for keeping us informed. You're welcome. Okay, so severe risk for Sunday night. I posted this on my Facebook page. Again, you can see the higher risk, I believe, will be from southern Illinois down along the Mississippi River. Once again, if you follow me on Facebook and you see this, the black dot indicates where there is, on these maps, indicates where there is the highest probability of severe weather. When you see the little circle like that with a hatch in it, that means there's an increased chance of more significant severe weather. In other words, larger hail, stronger straight line winds, or potentially stronger tornadoes. If you remember on the March 14-15 event, we had a hatched area for us, and we did end up with some pretty good storms. So right now we believe the strongest storms, at least the way it looks, could be to the south of this area by a fair amount. This is just another model run I wanted to show you, and again you can see that we're at risk, but we think the higher risk is down to the south of this area, and this is just one more when it shows basically over us and then all the way down into East Texas. This could be a pretty big event with a lot of real estate covered by some bigger thunderstorms. I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to kind of wrap things up here. So this is an in-house model that we use, and it will show you again where there could be the chance of some tornadoes. So I want to run through this and just show you as we get into the Sunday time period. So there you have Sunday evening. And again, I mean, as you can see, the low end of that is on us. There's a little enhanced area in southern Illinois and then points south. So again, we can't rule it out that there could be some tornadoes, but right now the chances look a little better farther south. Now, and I'm not going to get into detail on this, but I want to show you guys something. So after this, we get a lot colder on Monday, but then remember I said next week. So now this, and again, I'm just showing you this because this is a long ways away and we're going to watch this. This would be at midnight next Wednesday night, the middle of next week. What could be another fairly potent storm system comes in. We got to watch that one. We'll get through this one first, and then I'll keep you up to date. But yeah, we'll have to watch again the middle of next week. Possibly another pretty strong storm system that comes in. Typical spring weather here in the Midwest, right? So let me wrap up with this, and then I'll take some questions at the end. So severe thunderstorms are possible Sunday anytime from the afternoon into the darkness hours. It's a little early to put a time on it, but I would say it could be anytime as early as 4 to 5 p.m., probably most likely around sunset. And some of these storms could linger into the midnight hour. So anytime from mid-afternoon on, we've got to keep an eye to the sky. Too early to get into great details on, exact locations, exact timing, and all of that. I'll plan on another Facebook Live tomorrow night, Friday night, and we'll kind of highlight that a little bit more. Our models will have a little better handle on it, and we can kind of fine-tune things a little bit better. But this was just to kind of give you a general idea. We've been talking about it for a while. The chance is still there, and I just want to give folks a little update. So let's see if we got anything here. Emily says, thanks, you're quite welcome. Sam, when will it calm down? Well, here's the thing, Sam. So after the storm that comes through next week, which will be about April the 2nd, about April the 2nd, I think there may be yet one more after that, which would be that first weekend in April, which is what, the 5th and the 6th, okay? So I think we've got one Sunday, one the middle of next week, and one that next weekend. Then I believe we're going to calm down and we're going to get cool. It's going to be quite cool, it looks like, from, say, about the 10th of April to the 15th to the 17th. So I think we may have 3 storm systems between now and a week from this weekend, but then that last one may actually send us into a cooler pattern there for several days, about middle part of April. Robert says, thank you. You're welcome. Nancy says, thanks. You're welcome as well. Darlene says, thanks for the update. You're quite welcome. Again, I can't get into great detail tonight. I just wanted to let everybody know what we're looking at and the timing. And again, I'm going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow night. That's my plan. I'll keep posting some things, of course, and then I will be here Sunday. So if we run into severe weather, you know where to go, and we'll keep you up to date. And if you're watching this and you haven't followed, follow, share the video if you guys can, and make sure everybody follows along the page, because we push out alerts, watches, warnings on my page, and of course you will be alerted when we do a Facebook Live. And Sunday, if we do Facebook Lives, we'll probably just stream while we're going through the severe weather, so you can come back and check it out. So anyway, that's what we're looking at, guys. I'm going to wrap things up here and let everybody get back to what you're doing. Some of you might be watching some NCAA, and we'll plan on doing yet another one sometime tomorrow night.